It's going to be hard. And especially if you have made mistakes in your investing, maybe you lost some of the family's money. Maybe you spent a whole bunch of money on like seminars and you haven't quite made that big bucks yet. So it's going to be hard. And to be fair, I talked to a lot of people, and sadly, their spouse is the one who often shuts them down the most. But also, a lot of people just self sabotage themselves when getting into this as well, because they want to wait for that perfect moment for when you have all of the information, which absolutely never ever comes. So then you kick the can down the road and 5 years pass, and then you look back with huge regret that you didn't take action. So just remember, it's going to be hard taking the leap to get your first deal and then to going full time. So, anyways, I make the leap, get into real estate. We're down in Washington and we go to the sale and all the property sells. We didn't get anything. So, from there, though, because we learned the rules, we realized that after the auction, there was going to be another auction for the people who didn't actually pay for their properties. And sure enough, there was a handful of people who didn't pay for their property. So this second auction, there was, if there was 50 people at the first auction, there was like 8 people at the second auction. And then we went and we bought 40 acres of land for $4,200, and the land was worth $40,000. So 10 cents on the dollar for the most part. Buy this property, super excited. And, my whole life changed at that moment. As far as like, once you do that first deal, that's when you really can, believe in yourself. You get that critical mass, it seems, from doing your first real estate deal. And unfortunately, a lot of folks watching, you might be stuck on that hamster wheel of information over and over again, just waiting for that perfect moment. But the perfect moment never comes. It's never going to align. You're never going to have all the information. A lot of the times your spouse and your loved ones, they won't support you. They'll be against you doing this. And you just have to do it anyway. And you have to do it almost in spite of them, or carry that as a bit of a chip on your shoulder, at least to give you the fuel and the motivation to go do it. In fact, many people that we work with, they'll come in and, they'll just go and do it and prove it behind the scenes. And then they'll show people the results and speak with the results. So for anybody tuning in, if you want, during my time of travel and all that and doing tax liens, I turned my notes into the best-selling book called The ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing. Now, I don't claim to be the pioneer of tax liens and deeds, but I've done it a lot, and we still do deals every single month. And I put my notes into this book called The ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing, and I used to sell this thing. It's in the link down below if you want to go ahead and check it out. It is totally free.